Hello, everybody. Welcome. It's me, John, and I'm here to talk about something pretty interesting. It has just been announced, literally, I think 2 days ago now. This news broke. There was a massive big convention or expo, I think it was called Ava Expo or something in Japan, like a special event for the anniversary of Neon Genesis Evangelion. While there at this event, a brand new anime series. Yes, a Neon Genesis Evangelion anime series has just been announced. Okay, so the article here says a new Evangelion series is coming from Studio Kara and Yoko Taro, creator of Neo. It then goes on to say anime fans rejoice as there's a new Neon Genesis Evangelion series on the horizon. This was announced during the 30th anniversary event held in Japan. It then goes on to say Evangelion veteran Kazuya Tsurumaki will be on hand to direct episodes, which is nice for long-time fans. He directed the rebuild of Evangelion films. Composer Keiichi Okabe from the Neo franchise is scoring the new show. The new series will be produced by Studio Clara and Cloverworks. And there we have it. I am pretty. To be honest with you, in the back of my mind, I always thought Neon Genesis Evangelion or Evangelion, however you want to pronounce it. I always thought it would come back in some shape or form. It is still incredibly popular in Japan. I believe it is like up there in like with like One Piece. Like One Piece is like meant to be like the number one favorite in Japan. And then Evangelion has literally just always been a massive cult favorite or massive favorite. I am indeed a big fan of the original anime series and the rebuild films as well. Everything that has come before now, I'm a big fan of all of it. Neon Genesis Evangelion. It was leaps when it came out. It was leaps before its time. It really was. Like the animation was incredible, the music was incredible. It was incredibly diverse and dynamic. The characters were interesting. Yes, okay, a lot of people poke fun and point fingers and laugh at Shinji sometimes. And as Shinji is kind of a very whiny, very annoying character, and you just want to slap him across the face sometimes because he's just, he just won't do or won't protect, won't get in the Ava and all that. But there is a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, of course. Obviously, he's kind of estranged a little bit from his father. His father is kind of the big guy in charge of Nev. They don't see eye to eye with one another, so you can understand where Shinji comes from. The characters were really quite well done. I mean, I love Oscar, I love Rei Ayanami, and Shinji. It has some good moments. There's also some really good supporting characters as well, like Masato and everyone that works at Nev. It's just a really good series, and it was leaps before its time. And it came out in the 90s, and it was very much, there was nothing quite like it ever. When it comes to the manga, and obviously when it comes to the anime adaptation. And then obviously it was a series that was really polarizing because there were some fans that just did not like it because they just didn't understand what the hell it was going on about. I will say it is a little bit all over the place. Even the people behind the scenes, even the people that created it and the people that animated it, the people, everyone that went, everybody that worked on that when it comes to the anime adaptation of the original series, even they don't really know where they were going with it because it was one of those kind of flash in the pan sort of moments. They just made this thing, released it, and it just grew an incredible following. And then of course it was finally released outside into the West, and it was given an English dub, and it was, and history was made. It just became incredibly popular both in Japan and outside Japan. Has got a bit of a polarizing back and forth with people that are obviously you got the fans of it, and then you got those that really don't like it because that the way this, for whatever reason may be, it's one of those series where either you like it or you don't. But I've always really admired it. I think it's a great piece of work, and I also like the rebuild films because they went ahead and made the rebuild films because of the problems of the original anime series where it was very all over the place and the way that it ends. And then obviously they did make two feature films at the end. One of them was more like a recap of the series, and then you got End of Evangelion, which is actually kind of like the way that they ended it. They chose to end it in a movie format. And then they did the rebuild films that they basically kind of retold within the first two rebuild films, of course, retold they've just retold basically the original anime series, but then it goes off on a completely original tangent, and it actually kind of makes a little bit more sense, the story, if you follow it as you're supposed to. Because what's really interesting is that after the second film it changes massively. Is like there's a big time skip after the events of the second film. When the third film starts, it is just you're just like, whoa, what the hell's just happened? What the hell is happening right now? That is how really cool. That's what I love about it, is that it really keeps your brain ticking, and it is very, very weird. However, when it comes to this announcement of a brand new anime series, I don't know what they're doing with this. I'm really hoping it's not just a complete reboot or remake of the original. I mean, to be honest, I know this is going to sound very bad of me to say. It became incredibly popular, and I love it for what it is. I still accept the original Neon Genesis Evangelion film series, anime series, TV series. I still accept it for what it is, even with some of the flaws it has. I still think I don't know whether this is going to kind of be a remake of that, but through different people. Because obviously it's people helming the guy helming it is the guy who created the Neo games, and the guy composing it is the guy that wrote the music and composed the music for the game as well, for the Neo games. So obviously, I think this is in good hands. I think this is in good hands. I don't have any problems with the people that are working on it. And obviously, Cloverworks working on it as a anime production company. I have no problems with that per se. There is no details as of yet of what the story will entail, what this could be an adaptation of. Is it just a straight up basically a remake of what was the original anime series, or are they going to adapt one of the alternative mangas? Because there is quite a number of manga. You got the original manga series that, of course, it all was the anime stuff was adapted from or based upon. But then you've got other alternative ones where it's like alternate reality, where all the characters are slightly different, or the setting is ever so slightly different, or is this just going to be totally original and not have any connection to what has come before, just be its own thing? That I don't have a problem with. If it is kind of like its own thing, it's not kind of like a complete reboot of what we've already had or already do have or seen. I don't have a problem if it's a completely original story, and even though they're still going to have the same characters, but it just goes in a slightly different direction, rather than being a parallel, complete reboot of what we've already had. I don't have a problem with an original story, just to kind of like bring the characters back and slightly different situations and scenarios. Or it could be maybe an adaptation to one of the alternative mangas that came out, because None of them have been adapted. I don't know whether it's going to be something like that or if it's just going to be kind of like, well, what we've already seen before has come to an end. It's come to a climax. That story and those scenarios and what goes on has come and gone. What more can we do to keep it alive, keep the heart beating? What can we do to keep it going and to celebrate the anniversary of this beloved franchise? What can we do? So I'm very intrigued about this, and I will be following this pretty closely because like I said, I'm a huge fan of what has come before, big fan of the TV series or the anime series, and I'm a big fan of the rebuild stuff as well. So I am very much intrigued about this. I know some people will probably be like, "Why are you? Why?" Because it's already been brought to a conclusion and it already was given a good ending from what we've had before, thanks to the rebuild films, which really gave it an actual proper conclusion. Um, so yeah, I don't know where they're going to go with this. It's certainly interesting. I just hope it. I just hope it works out okay. I just hope that it is good. I'm just happy to see more Ava action because I absolutely love the Avas and I love the battle situations. I think they're really, really cool. But anyway, so we will see. But I will keep an eye on this and I will make an update video when more information has been shared with us. Thank you for watching. What are your thoughts on this? Are you looking forward to a new Evangelion series? Do you think it's going to be a alternate story? One of the alternate mangas that are getting adapted, or do you think this is going to be, you know, a rebuild of what we've already had? Are there like a reboot of the original anime series, or is this going to be a completely original work, still with the same characters, but is this going to go in a completely opposite, separate direction? What do you think? There's three options there, but only time will tell once all details have been released. But thank you, take care, bye bye.